Park, a new beginning, let's go. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Baby said she wanna go to the game. Taught her how to say Padre gang. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Mitchell and Ness with the old school name. All of the homies holler Padre gang. Yeah, that.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to the July 22nd Talking Friars Padres versus Mets pregame show. I'm your host, Ben Fadden. It feels good to be back. Padres baseball is back today. Had, 5 days off, something like that? Monday, Tuesday, 4 days off? Obviously, had the home run derby on Monday, had the All-Star game on Tuesday, and then 2 days off yesterday and Thursday, where it felt like it was me just talking about Juan Soto and just thinking about the Padres acquiring Juan Soto. Like, that's how I felt. That's what Wednesday and Thursday was. And so I'm glad to be, and Musgrove, a Musgrove extension. So I'm glad to kind of step away from that a little bit. And I say a little bit because I'm still going to be focused on that. I'm definitely going to be focused. A lot of people are going to be focused on that because we have, less than 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks until the MLB trade deadline on August 2nd. But we finally get to watch the Padres play today. And it's going to be a good pitching matchup. Yu Darvish against Max Scherzer. So I'm excited for it. Yeah, Sean here in the comments says, finally, we are back. Withdrawals equals real. Yeah. I feel the same. By the way, I am at over 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate everyone who is subscribed to the channel. If you're not, I encourage you to. And because I'm at over 1,000, we have been able to implement the super chats and the super thanks. I am new to this, so I believe when I'm live like I am now, if you're in here, you can put the you can hit the $ and that's where you do the super chat in the comments. And every super chat, the comment there, I'll definitely show that. And I appreciate any support. If you don't want to, help out the channel or anything, I totally understand. I appreciate you just being here and talking some Padres baseball. In regular, normal videos, I believe where the title is or right under the title, there's a super thanks button and you hit that and you can support the channel that way. So I really appreciate the support. And so that's kind of what we got going, the latest there. And as for tonight, Darvish Scherzer. Scherzer did not make the All-Star game. Darvish did not make the All-Star game because Scherzer doesn't really have a ton of starts under his belt. If he did make, I don't think Scherzer was selected. If he was selected, he didn't play. His last time out was July 16th. Before the All-Star break, obviously, it was at Wrigley against the Cubs. He went 6 1/3, gave up 2 earned runs. In his last 5 starts, he has not allowed more than 2 runs, so he's pitching like Max Scherzer. The strikeouts are usually in the double digits. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4 double-digit strikeout games. His ERA is at 2.22 right now, throwing over 100 pitches most times in his outings. So it's going to be tough for the Padres. They did not have to face Max Scherzer when the Mets came to San Diego. So it's going to be tough. And then I think the Mets have Carrasco tomorrow. And then is it Bassett? I think it's Bassett tomorrow and then Carrasco against Musgrove on Sunday Night Baseball. The latest update on the Musgrove extension talks, he just went on Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. And they gave him the soft questions. They didn't really say anything. They literally asked him about his All-Star game experience and took up all the time on that. And then Chris Ello said, speaking for San Diego, we hope you stay. And I understand what he's going there with, but he did not hard press him about an extension. But Musgrove did say in reply to that they're both working on it. He obviously wants to stay, but it's more complicated than, okay, I want to be here. You want me here? Okay, we'll get an extension done. It's more complicated than that. So what he pretty much told the fan base is his side and the Padres, they're working on it. So that's the update. Don't have an extension done, but that's pretty much the update from the man himself. There was an update on Fernando Tatis Jr. today. I believe he was speaking to the media. He told the media that he's swinging 95 to 100% on flips in the cage, so the coach is just flipping him the ball and he's swinging. So that's progress, obviously. It's not dry swings, it's not off the tee. That's the next step from where the tee was. So they are progressing. That's the good news. I still would probably think that August is when he would come back. I was hoping it would have been July 29th when the Padres are back at home in their City Connects against the Twins, the Jace Tingler reunion. I thought that would have Emilio Pagan as well. Paddock is having Tommy John, so that's not really a reunion there. But I was hoping it was then. But it seems like that would be pushing it, and the Padres don't wanna push it for him to go from flips today, and within a week, he's in the lineup. Like, that feels like a stretch to me. So, I would pretty much guarantee that it's gonna be August, and I'd be surprised if it's July 29th. And definitely not gonna be the Detroit series in between this Mets series and when they come back home, to play the Twins and the Rockies. So the Mets enter today 58 and 35. The Padres are 52 and 42 before the All-Star break. This game's on Bally Sports San Diego, 97.3 The Fan. 4:10 is the first pitch. As for the bullpen situation, there's not a ton to talk about with the bullpen situation because they had 4 days off. Taylor Rogers didn't make the All-Star game. No one threw. So they had everyone had plenty of time off. So everyone's available. And if you have a lead today, you go to your big guys. You go to Garcia, you go to Rogers, probably Chris Matt. Uh, Nick Martinez and Mackenzie Gore are in the bullpen. Uh, they are going with the 5-man rotation, I believe, right out of the gate. I did just see a tweet about that from one of the reporters, one of the beat writers, which I agree with. I don't like where Mackenzie Gore is at right now. His just command is not great. He wasn't effective last Sunday out of the bullpen in the Padres' last game before the All-Star break. I like having Nick Martinez in the bullpen. I think that's where he excels. He can come in and pitch multiple innings, and he can come in after Clev or whoever and literally give the bullpen a night off. If someone goes 6 or 7 and Bob Melvin's like, okay, let's give the bullpen a night off here, Martinez can go 2 innings, and there you go. You don't have to use anyone. So I love Martinez out of the bullpen. He's been pitching pretty well out of the bullpen, actually really well. And so I love the Padres keeping him there. So that's what we got. Pretty much a 5-man rotation right now with Mackenzie Gore going out of the bullpen or coming in from the bullpen if he does pitch. And a big question for me, obviously, is will the offense, can they get off to a hot start out of this All-Star break? It's going to be tough because obviously Max Scherzer's on the mound. But Crony, Manny, obviously the 2 All-Stars. Right now, the Padres are lining up no Estier Ruiz, which I'm kind of disappointed about. They're going with Grisham, but maybe they're giving him, a new start, had some days off, clear his head, and we'll see what happens. Profar's leading off. Crony's hitting second. Manny's batting third. He's at third base. Nomar is in right. He's batting fourth. Voigt's DHing, batting fifth. Hosmer's at first, batting sixth. Nola is catching, batting seventh. There are those Wilson Contreras rumors out there. Padres are very interested in him. Soto's obviously the big guy, but I'd definitely be fine with getting Contreras. Grisham's batting eighth and center, and then Abrams is at shortstop batting ninth. So no Kim, no Ruiz, and no Alfaro. So that's the lineup. The Mets have Nimmo leading off. He's in center. All-Star Starling Marte, he's in right field batting second. Francisco Lindor's at short batting third. Pete Alonso, a Mets All-Star, he's batting fourth, hitting first. Playing first, hitting fourth. Jeff McNeil's batting fifth, playing left field. He's hitting 300 this year. He was an All-Star. He played before Crony played at second base in the All-Star game. Eduardo Escobar is batting sixth, playing third base. And Luis Guillorme's at second base, batting seventh. And then Travis Blankenhorn, they just called him up from AAA Syracuse. He's batting eighth, DHing, and Tomas Nido is catching, batting ninth. So that's what we got going. Both teams' lineups again. 4:10 is the first pitch. Padres 52 wins. The Mets have 58 wins, and they are in first place in the National League East. As for the Padre pick, last game I picked Nomar Mazara. He went 0 for 4. That was on Sunday, so I'm 55 and 32 in my Padre pick so far this year. Today I'm going to go with Crony. Jake Cronenworth. I think this guy, all-star, right on left matchup. I absolutely love that matchup. So I'm going to go with him. Um, I'd go with Nomar. I like what I'm seeing with Nomar Mazara. Um, but I feel like there's more consistency. Crony's hitting ahead of Mazara in the lineup, so if there's a ninth inning situation, top of the order's up, he's going to be hitting in front of Nomar, and he's going to get more chances to hit. You would think over Nomar. So I'm going to go with Crony today for my Padre pick. We'll get to my comments here in these chat, or not my comments, your guys' comments. Again, the super chat function is available now with over 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate everyone's support. I don't do this for the money. I love talking Padres baseball. Before this, and I still don't unless super chats come in. I don't get paid for the pregame shows or my postgame reactions or the bullpen usage charts I put out on social media, or the highlights, lowlights that I tweet out that no one else has, or that no one else puts out on social media, mainly at Talking Friars on Twitter. So I just do it because I love Padres baseball, and I know that you guys do too. All right. DVD Pash says, why Grisham over Ruiz? Yeah, good question. I think the left on right matchup. After the All-Star break, Grisham got some days off his feet, clear his head, and I think they're going to try having Grisham in center right now. Maybe they're using him as a trade piece and they put him in the Juan Soto deal or something. If the Nats want, out someone to replace him in the outfield for the next 2 or 3 years, maybe they're trying to build up his value. I have no idea. I'd rather have him trade Grisham than Ruiz. I'll say that. Game Effect says, "Give me your trade hot takes. I'm ready." Yeah, I put 2 episodes out this week on Anthony Santander and Brandon Drury, some hypothetical trades there. I was on John and Jim Extra 1360 the other day. That video is also out on this YouTube channel with some highlights, and you can hear me give my thoughts with them live on air. Extra 1360. I went in on Wednesday, so I really appreciate them having me again. That was my second time doing that, and I don't know if I have any hot takes on trades. My big stance, and obviously the Juan Soto stuff, is the huge talking point. Padres Twitter and fans and all that. I would not give up Jake Cronenworth in a Juan Soto deal. I would give up Abrams. I wouldn't give up Abrams and Cronenworth. Like, if you told me that the Padres would get Juan Soto, they get to keep Abrams, and then they'd have to give up Cronenworth. Like, I'd probably, my head would probably say yes. My heart would say no. My head would probably say yes, and that's what you have to go with in trades. You can't be emotional about it if you're AJ Preller. But if they're asking for Abrams and Cronenworth, that's not happening. They can have Abrams. And I said this on the radio the other day on Extra. Like, I think that if I'm the Nationals, Mike Rizzo, the GM, I would want CJ Abrams over Jake Cronenworth. He's making less money than Cronenworth. You have him for double the amount of control, double the amount of years. Cronenworth has 3 years of control, I think. Abrams has 6, right? And he could be your shortstop every day. Like, that feels like the better thing with the Nationals situation, because they're not trying to win right now. I know they want major league ready players. Abrams is in the big leagues right now. They're putting that Dodger catcher prospect, Ruiz, I think is his name, or what, Kybert Ruiz. They're having him catch every day, right? Was he ready when they brought him up? I don't know. I don't follow the Nationals farm system and Kybert Ruiz. But he seems young, and they're giving him every day, mostly, right? Everyday playing time. I think they do that with CJ Abrams as well. Let's see here. Luke says, "I'm curious to see how we do against New York. It would be nice to come back in this second half hot as possible." Yeah, I agree. Obviously, you want to come up out of the second half hot because you're playing a good team in the Mets. But then you get some series where, I know the Twins are a good team when they come back home next Friday. But the Tigers, try to go sweep that. The Rockies, I think it's at Petco. So try to go win that, because you can't win at Coors Field. So stacking up these wins against teams you should beat, and then winning some games that against really good teams, because the Padres only have 2 games of a lead for a wild card spot right now. I think it's 3 games over the Giants, who just lost last night to the Dodgers because the Giants' defense is trash. And I know that it feels like it's Dodger loving, but right now you got to root for the Well, I'm not rooting for either team, but like I guess you want like the Dodgers. If you had to pick a team, you'd want the Dodgers to win over the Giants in this series that they're playing this weekend. Because I think the division's out of sight. Shouldn't even be focused on that. You should be focused on beating the Giants, and staying ahead of the Giants in the standings. Zoom asks, can they please stop starting Grisham? Yeah, I'd rather have Ruiz in there. I'm kind of done with Grisham, but left on right matchup tonight. I guess that would be their explanation. And it's a fresh start, and they'll give him a chance. Bill says Grisham's 2 for 14 against Max. Ruiz has never faced Max, and he's a rookie. Maybe the Padres just want the guy that's had experience against him. I know not a lot of experience, or a lot of success is what I mean. But I mean, like, I think just out of the All Star break, I think they just want to give Grisham that fresh start. That's probably their explanation on that. Sean says, "Yo, y'all see Trace Thompson goading for the Dodgers? Come on." Well, you're surprised by that? That's just what happens. Anthony, I will get to your super chat. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Hang on 1 second. I'm saving the best for last, okay? Hold on 1 second, Anthony. Quan says, I like Mazzara batting behind Manny ahead of Voit and Hosmer. Yeah, I do too. Sorry, I was reading that comment again just to fully understand that. Yeah, I think Mazzara deserves to be hitting in front of Hosmer and Voit. Like, he's just been consistently hitting a lot of line drives. And you got the left on right matchup tonight. Like, he deserves to be hitting there. You can't play favorites based on the contract or who's won a World Series. Like, you got to just put the guy that deserves right now to be in the middle of that lineup or be hitting fourth. You got to put him fourth. You're trying to win. I agree with you, Anthony. Excuse me. He didn't say he's a crony fan. He said, I'm such a crony fan. Yes, I am. And it's Crony, not Crony. But yeah, yes, I am a crony fan. He's my favorite player. I have the Musgrove thing up here. He's probably a really close second. He went to Grossmont. I went to Helix, so our schools are rivals. Maybe that's why. No, I'm kidding. Crony, I've met both guys, and so I like both guys. But I was an infielder growing up, then transitioned to center when I was in high school. I just can appreciate how great he plays defense, and I appreciate him playing every day and being an Iron Man along with Manny most of the time. Playing every day, you can count on him in the lineup. Just the smooth swing. I'm not a lefty, but the smooth swing. He doesn't dog it, like when he's grounds out or something. He's not sprinting like Adam Rosales or anything, or Brandon Nimmo after he walks to first. Like, he's not a tryhard like that, but he gives you effort every day, and I can really appreciate that. And so when I'm talking about the Juan Soto stuff, like, yeah, I don't want to see Cronenworth go in a trade. If they had to give up Cronenworth, my heart would say no, but it's Juan Soto. Like, I realize Juan Soto's a better player than Jake Cronenworth is. I just know that it's not the NBA and you can't win with, 3 good players. You got to have a full team. And Cronenworth, with his versatility, can play first, second, short. Tatis is not a guarantee to stay healthy the rest of the year. Like, it just feels like, I don't know, like, again, my point is Abrams and Cronenworth. If you're asking for both, I'm not doing that. Because you got to have something in the middle infield, And I think for the Nationals, it would be better for them to have Abrams than Cronenworth. I'm not just saying that from a Padre fan point of view. I'm saying that from a Nationals GM point of view, Mike Rizzo. Like, he should want Abrams over Cronenworth because he has more control. He's cheaper. They're trying to be cheap right now. They didn't even pay for Juan Soto's private flight. He had to fly commercial. I know it's like a normal human being. Cool. You're in LA. You're in Hollywood. You had to fly private. Like, wow. I feel so bad. Excuse me, you had to fly commercial. I feel so bad for you, you know? I don't. But it's clear, in every other team except the A's because they're cheap as well. When you don't pay private or you don't pay for your all-star to fly private, that's a bad look. It's like you're really salty because he didn't accept your $440 million offer. You're really, really salty. Brisk says, W, John and Jim. I don't know what that means. Like, I did a good job. Thank you. I appreciate if that's what that means, I appreciate that. Sean says if they trade CJ, he will go on to be the next Ken Griffey Jr. I mean, they don't play the same position. I mean, Ken Griffey, I think that's a stretch. Ken Griffey Jr. is one of the best players of all time. And even if they trade CJ, they're getting back one of the best hitters of all time for the next 3 pennant races, Like, if the Padres win a World Series with Juan Soto, I'm fine. CJ, go be the next Ken Griffey Jr., Enjoy Washington. Like, I'm trying to win a World Series here. And even if they don't win a World Series, at least they went for it, Soto's better than Abrams. He's going to impact this team right now better than Abrams. The Padres are not going to be in a better situation to win, I don't think, in the next 3 years, which is the length of Bob Melvin's contract and Manny in his prime, and I think Crony's contract, right? Maybe he's 3 more years after this. So 2 more, he'd be 1 more year after Melvin's done. But you get my point. Like, with this rotation, they got to go for it right now. So if you have to sacrifice CJ and Hassel and Wood, okay. You just hope that, Preller, he drafts well, so you just hope that he can start to develop, because he hasn't really done that. I would take the gamble. Like, do you want to be good, or do you want to at least take that risk and try to be really great and take down the Dodgers in the postseason when it matters? Game Effect says he wouldn't give up Cronenworth for anything. He's literally the backbone of this team. I think, yeah, I mean, he's a huge part of this team. I think the backbone's probably still Manny. I get what you're saying. I've already said it. I want Crony to stay. But if they allow you to look, I still think they're going to get Abrams over Cronenworth. But if they want Cronenworth for some reason over Abrams, it's going to be hard pill to swallow, definitely. But it's going to be hard to not think with my head and say yes. But I'm Jake Cronenworth's like #1 defender. You can check the Twitter account or the YouTube channel, this YouTube channel as well. Just go to the videos and you'll see it in the clip with John and Jim in studio. They don't really think that. They think that they trade Cronenworth. I don't want to trade him. But Juan Soto is better than him. I know that. Eric, you say, what was the pick? I picked Crony today. Yeah, a lot of Cronenworth talk. All right, Anthony, thank you so much. We are getting to this super chat. Holy cow. $150. My first super chat. Holy cow. Thank you so much, Anthony. Everyone, give thumbs up, claps, whatever you want for Anthony right now. I'm going to give him some applause. Huge applause. Huge applause for Anthony. $150. He says, congrats for 1,000 subscribers. Here's a super chat for equipment, lighting, stationary mic, and a mic for your phone. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I have lights behind my computer. I have the microphone, obviously, but a mic for my phone. I'll try to bring the next game I go to. I'll try to bring like headphones and speak into the mic there and see if, or earbuds, excuse me, and see if that works better. But yeah, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Everyone, thumbs up for Anthony. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Anthony. I appreciate that. Yep, thumbs up. Thumbs up. Yep, thumbs up. I appreciate that. So Anthony says Abrams and Crony or Gore and Abrams. Gore and Abrams. Yeah. I think they have. Look, I'm trying to win this year, and I know giving up Gore would suck, but you're trying to win with Bob Melvin as the manager. And so, here, let me put that chat up. You're trying to win with Bo Mel as the manager, right? Because that's what you brought him in to do. And Crony, he's better than CJ Abrams right now. He's an all-star, middle of the top of the lineup. You know, like he's helping this team more than CJ is right now. And the starting rotation that is in place, like Gore, if they run with this 5-man, he has more of a role in Washington than he does here. I know it sucks to say because Gore's the number one prospect, and as a Padre fan, when guys leave this offseason, because I don't think everyone's staying, 4 potential free agent pitchers. I think Musgrove will get the extension done hopefully by tomorrow, or hopefully by Sunday when he starts, because I don't think he wants to talk the rest of the year about it. But let's say, Clev or Manaea walks, Martinez walks, you want Gore there, and I understand that. But if you can get Juan Soto and you don't have to give up Jake Cronenworth, like, I think that's a win, in my opinion. Yeah, again, thank you so much, Anthony. All right, so today, 4:10 is the first pitch. Max Scherzer on the mound for the Mets. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres at Citi Field, Queens, New York. Padres, can they get their 53rd win on the season? Crony is my Padre pick. Manny's back in there hitting third. Let's kick off this post All-Star game break with a win, shall we? All right. That'll do it for the Talking Friars Padres Mets pregame show for July 22nd, 2022. I appreciate everyone for coming in here talking Padres baseball with me today. I appreciate Anthony for that super chat, that generous super chat. And I'll be back with the post-game reaction, as always, and at Talking Friars on Twitter for the game clips. All right, that'll do it. See you, everybody. Go Padres.